I can see already quite a few of you have joined in and look forward to having many more of you. As always, we want to keep this as an interactive session. So you have the chat board right in front of you. Please feel free to post any questions you may have. Today's topic is general insurance, and we are going to talk about all aspects of general insurance, health, motor. We'll talk about home insurance. We'll talk about travel insurance, though that's been a bit hit right now with this pandemic, but hopefully it should pick up soon. Joining me as the expert speaker today is Tarun Mathur, who is the Chief Business Officer at PolicyBazaar.com. He's been pretty much since inception with Policy Bazaar, and as you know, it's the biggest digital platform in India towards insurance, online insurance, something again that we all had to face during this pandemic and the lockdown, that we had to do all our transactions online. And how did that work out is something that we'll also try and understand from Tarun. How easy has it become for people to get their insurance claims online completely? A few quick questions from my side, Tarun, before I throw it open for others. We've also received some questions from our viewers already, and I'll take all of them. But we've seen a lot of announcements coming from the regulator in the last few months when you talk about health insurance, especially because of the pandemic. What are the kind of critical reforms do you think, if you were to sum it up, on the general insurance side that we witnessed in the last few months?
Thanks, Vivek. So the regulator is basically trying to get more and more coverage and more features available to customers. And I think it is a great step there, right? While prices haven't gone up by too much, we've been able to add a lot of illnesses that were not there before. And one of the largest ones, that at least the two of the largest ones that I feel are very, very good, are A, robotic surgeries, and B, mental illness being recognized in insurance policies. And I'll explain why. See, today, the way robotic surgeries are supposed to kind of pave the way for future, the health is the only avenue we have of reducing healthcare costs. So now, till now, robotic surgeries were not allowed within the insurance paradigm or within your insurance policy. The moment it starts getting allowed, more and more people will opt for it. See, a robotic surgery, because of the ability of robotic surgeries to be able to perform multiple surgeries within the day, reduces the cost for a hospital. So maybe the cost of acquisition of a tool might be very large, maybe crores of rupees. But if that robot is able to do surgeries, let's say 10 surgeries in a day, whereas an expert doctor is able to do one surgery a day, imagine the cost reduction for a hospital, and that will translate into the cost that, let's say, a patient will incur. So I think that's one large step, and it's very futuristic in nature. The second one is, I am glad that the country and the regulator and everybody around us is recognizing the importance of what happens in mental illness, and the fact that it's going to get covered in an insurance policy recognizes it as a problem, as a disease, and not something which people tend to misuse, if I may use that word. So I think the regulator is pushing more and more towards the coverage of all illnesses, and try and make sure that the customer, whenever he walks into a hospital, is not worried about whether the claim is payable for a particular illness or not. I think that's been the paradigm change. And then, so see, COVID-19, the moment it came in, you saw a lot of insurance companies scramble, and they tried to get in a 15-day waiting period only. Otherwise, mostly any such disease takes about 30 days of a waiting period. But most insurance companies today offer you the same cover within 15 days. So I think it's the right time to buy health insurance, because I think regulators behind it, the insurance companies have very, very good products. So all in all, I think a great move by the regulator.
A quick question, Tarun, on the mental illness bit and the robotic bit as well as that, you talked about. Now, on mental illness, predominantly people don't need to get hospitalized. I mean, there's no surgery as such to be done. It's more of sessions that they need to have repeatedly with experts, with professionals. Surgeries could be a situation in certain cases, but predominantly it is more about conversations with experts and assessment, which may not require hospitalization. Traditionally, health insurance policies, or similarly with robotics, what would also happen, since you said that the surgery time duration would be much faster. Maybe they are non-invasive, so therefore your requirement to be in the hospital for very long may not be there, or maybe a complete daycare procedure. How would that be handled? Would that be covered as well? Because traditionally, health insurance has been you need to get admitted, you need to stay in the hospital, and then you'll get a claim.
So, Vivek, I think you answer the question yourself. Yes, all of it is covered. And, like you said, traditionally, health insurance policies were understood as if you get hospitalized, the health insurance policy you get will cover you. That's not true today. I think health insurance has expanded its gamut of possibilities of what it can cover, and what it is doing is slowly and steadily including. If you remember about maybe about 15, 20 years ago, it was very clear. The only time a health insurance policy would pay is if you spend 24 hours in hospital. About 7 years ago, what you saw was that about 15 to 17 daycare surgeries were included. And now you will see that most of the policies available on Policy Bazaar, at least, there are no limits to daycare. If the see so and the reason to do that is it's actually more profitable for the insurance companies. If hospitalization is not required for a particular treatment, there is no need to get hospitalized. Otherwise, what would happen back then was, people would go, the doctor say, I can cure this in 4 hours, but you won't get a claim. So might as well go and get yourself a room and stay there for 24 hours. So who's losing out? The insurance company, right? Because you can get hospitalized, not get hospitalized. So now all daycare treatments are covered in most plans that we sell. If robotic surgeries, invasive or not, are covered. By and large, there is no exclusion here. And I think your question about mental illness, I think that is still getting defined. I understand that there's no hospitalization, but there are certain, there's an infrastructure that's getting created to be able to cover all of those, meetings with the practitioner. And we're not sure exactly how it will move, but I think what the insurance companies are trying to come out with is a certain governance structure under which, because mental illness mostly goes towards non-hospitalization, how can we cover more and more of it? And I think within the next 1 or 2 months, you will see this getting sorted out and actually understood on how and what can get covered there without misuse per se.
One of the statements that typically, or the headline which typically comes out from the regulator, is standardization. In any kind of policies, they're looking at a certain standard plan which is offered to everybody by everybody, and then of course you can keep adding different plans or policies of yours from a company's point of view. So how do you see the whole shift towards standardized products?
See, Vivek, a standardized product is a dream come true for a web aggregator, right? For us, it basically means that the product and the features will be exactly the same, and the only difference will be the brand that's offering it and the price they offer it at. So, from a customer's perspective, it's just very, very easy. You understand one product, and then you choose which company do you trust with your health insurance, and which price do you want to buy it at. That's exactly what Arogya Sanjeevani did a few months back. We're seeing quite a good uptake of it. I think that's the first step, and as the regulator kind of warms up to more and more ideas around what can be included in the product, I think it will evolve. I think there will be a version 2 or version 3, which will make it more and more customer friendly. See, because Arogya Sanjeevani, it's a standard plan, it's a great plan. I think it has one component of copay which customers don't really like very much, or are a bit nervous when they want to go for it. Will I be able to afford my 5% of what my claim amount will be? I think as one product and two products and three products come out on the whole standard infrastructure, you will see it kind of gaining a lot of traction. So see what it does, it puts faith in the customer that what I am buying is actually there. There's a government body looking after it, so I will not be duped of money. Because see, there are fence sitters out there who are not believing that a health insurance will pay. And I think they should know today that one, there was never a problem. So whoever had a health insurance mostly got paid. And two, now there's a regulator looking very closely at their products to see what is covered and what is not. So you will get the same offer from multiple companies. And as this progresses, I think this is the way it has to be kind of led. I think it's a great step by the regulator.
There's a question here from Rohit Yadav. What is this seminar for? Rohit, you probably didn't listen to my introduction. This is about general insurance. If you have any question on general insurance, please feel free to ask here. Tarun, how has home insurance worked out? Is that something that is picking up? We keep reading reports and data about home sales having gone up quite significantly. So how do you see home insurance picking up? Is that something getting popular as well now?
So as so insurance isn't the most interesting product for customers, right? It's not that they wake up in the morning and come, but I think home insurance is what I call the flavor of the season. See, for a long time, there's one assessment that we have. If you look at the average home of somebody who lives in urban cities, what is the largest problem? The largest problem is that your contents are actually worth, on an average, trust you me, is about 5 lakh rupees, and this includes, what in terms of your appliances, your televisions, your refrigerators, your kitchen appliances, all of that. And when you put it together, if you did that mental math yourself, Vivek, you'd find out that it's anywhere in the range of 5 to 8 to 10 lakh, depending on which city you kind of live in and what how you are. So home insurance actually, while people believe it's only for the structures, also for the contents. Now with the whole multiple earthquakes hitting NCR and a lot of news around it, what has happened is that customers have actually started coming and exploring that product. And we've seen a 300% growth this year only in home insurance sales. Purely because customers are fearing that whatever they've bought, see, mostly for us in India, buying a house is a big deal, and it is one of that we save up for years. What we don't want happening is any sort of damage happening to it, right? Through a structure, thunder, storms, etc. So that is coming on very well. And the second part is there is in almost all cities alike, there's a lot of theft and burglary cases, and protection against that for your appliances is very important. So home insurance as a category is picking up. Customers are understanding that it's important, and the customers are understanding that their assets are worth a lot and not leaving them to God's grace. So it's working out quite well.
Let's talk about the other aspect of general, which is motor. Again, there's been a lot of reforms there. We discussed pay for use, for example, with your colleague Sajja recently. Is that something that is picking up? What is then? We had this report the other day which says 57% of vehicles on Indian roads are not insured. This is despite third party being mandatory in this country.
Yeah. See, so where Policybazaar currently holds expertise is in the private car sector, and we've seen that there is a lot of interest in the pay-as-you-go plans. They're still new, they're still evolving. But see, what has happened in the pandemic is, when the lockdown happened, I was not using my car at all. Like there was no way I could use it. And a lot of customers, there are two types of customers. One said, why do I get insured? I'm sitting at home, the car's not out there, I won't get caught. The second customer said, I need to be insured for sure, but is there a way I can save money because I'm not really driving the car? I think the second customer is the one who's now come in and is saying, okay, if there is a switch on, switch off aspect to my insurance, when I drive it, I will pay a premium. When I'm not driving it, I won't. I think it's saving cost for the customer. And from an insurance company perspective, you only want to charge for what is for legit, right? So if you're not going to take out your car, so there are two types of customers. One is someone like me who's sitting at home and working, so I don't use my car. The second is if you have a second car. So the second car is hardly driven or is being driven by your spouse. And you want to only have a very cheap insurance for it. So pay-as-you-go is doing very well there. But I think that there's still time as this product evolves. And you will see that in the next 3 to 6 months, this will become the largest thing there. Because I don't think customers want to pay more for something that they don't use. Motor insurance in all has done quite well now. The first 2 months of the pandemic, the hard customers weren't coming on board, but now they are coming on board. They are again insuring their policies. We are seeing a huge surge in number of sales. And Policybazaar has worked over the last 5 years to genuinely make sure that our pricing is very sharp. So we've worked with insurance companies to give prices to customers which were not offered before. And our average pricing for motor insurance actually reduced over years by about 25 to 30%, which means we're pricing sharply, we're giving better offers to customers, they have higher OD discounts available in their products that they're buying from us. So all in all, it's a great story. And I think we will continue gaining market share as long as we're on the customer side.
Here's a question coming in from Keyur Talati. My question is about the potential of general insurance business in terms of motor insurance business. How can we survive against the auto showroom and auto dealer providing huge discounts to the client? Also, 1 second. Also, if you can share data about the potential of HI, that is, I'm presuming health insurance or home insurance. Keyur, if you can clarify. And Rohit has another question. Why have I been invited to this by Policy Bazaar? Well, Rohit, if it does not sound exciting to you, you can log out. No problem. Nothing, nobody is forcing you. Okay. Health insurance is what Keyur is talking about. Any data about the potential of health insurance?
Okay, I cure for general insurance, and see, it's a 200,000 crore industry, and motor insurance is one of the largest in there. I know that the dealers are offering a lot, and see, when you're going to purchase your car, insurance isn't the primary aspect that you want to buy. It's actually the car. So you don't really think about when I'm buying my car insurance. And actually, what we've seen is that the dealers actually don't offer the best rates. They actually offer very, very high pricing compared to, let's say, a Policy Bazaar. But that's fine. See, the customer, he doesn't want to at that time kind of save money, or he's more interested in, whether there are mats in the car and there's a stereo system in the car. And that's fine. You see, you have to lead the customer to it. But that car is going to stay with him anywhere between 5 to 7 years. And that's where it becomes very important that as a Policy Bazaar or as any other entity who's selling motor insurance, you are actually on the customer side, you're giving him the best discounts, and you're not worried about where the customer is going to buy, because if you offer a good product, he's going to buy from you. And that's what we're about. We're only enabling a platform and making it the best for customers, and let the customers come and buy on their own. See, there was a time when we were 0% of market share. In 3 years, we could only move to 1%. But today, for the market that we serve, we stand anywhere between 7 to 14% of the motor insurance sales. And that's encouraging because we've only worked on making sure the customer has the best deal. Coming to health insurance, I think it's the industry that has got a huge awakening this year because of the pandemic. There are better covers, like I mentioned. There's a regulator who's becoming very, very, in terms of understanding of what risks are and becoming very supportive of the health insurance companies and the general insurance companies. So I think the health insurance product will evolve and the penetration will go up. We're already seeing a surge in sales, and that will continue because customers have become aware of all the expenses. The average bill of a COVID-19 treatment is 1.5 lakh rupees. If a family gets it, that's anywhere close to 4.5 to 6 lakh rupees. So the 3 lakh rupee plan, the 2 lakh rupee plans that you get from your company are not going to cut it. So awareness is increasing, good things are happening, and we're very, very hopeful for the future.
Okay, Keyur has another question. Can we become a partner of Policy Bazaar to sell general insurance business and life insurance business to our client?
We currently do not have any franchisee. I think there's also a regulation which we, doesn't allow us to kind of have agents, etc. And we typically do not have it. But I think this could be explored offline if there is something that you have. Very happy to hear it. And if there is a mechanism by which we can work, very happy to kind of consider it.
Sure. Is travel picking up at all, travel insurance? Because while flights and all are increasing now, but I see more and more people doing holidays more by road. Overseas, of course, is pretty much still out from a leisure point of view, at least. Are you seeing any pickup in travel insurance?
Yes, Vivek. In fact, what has happened is that our demand is back. 1/3 of the demand is back. The component of that is not leisure travel like it used to be, but a lot of student travel has started. A lot of business travel has also started. A lot of people probably going back home has started. But the part that I think what's happening is it's not that the number of course, the number of flights must be about 1/10. But the customer awareness and need for travel insurance is very, very high. So if 100 people were going for a holiday last year, maybe 5 of them were buying. But today, if 100 people are going to travel, I'm sure 60% of them will explore buying a travel insurance. So I think that's coming up. The demand is already 1/3. I think by another 6 to 8 months, our demand will be back and much stronger. I think the conversion rates will be through the roof, because I don't think there's anyone who would now want to travel outside the country and not have a travel cover, because that's the only thing that that's your health insurance there.
And would these travel covers, are they already covering diseases like COVID?
That depends on the plan that you're buying. It does cost extra for the plans that are covering COVID. Some of them do, some of them don't. But I think that will evolve. Pandemics will get covered mostly.
Okay, let's take a few questions that we've got from the audience as well. Satvik Agarwal has this question: how has risk management evolved over the years in insurance companies?
See, risk management is all about data. It's about understanding what customer you're servicing, and what are the needs, how are they. So, see, Policybazaar has worked on the same thing. We've tried to segment our customer. We don't believe in the one size fits all philosophy. Our philosophy is, let's find the customer's exact needs. Let's try and ask him what he wants, and whatever he's asking for, give it to him. So broadly, if you look at the best example here is the health insurance space. There's a young unmarried, there's a young couple, there's an expecting couple, there's a couple with who has, let's say, one child or two children, and then there's a senior citizen. And what cuts through all of these is if you have an existing condition or not. Each of these has a very, very different need. And your ability to understand these customer segments is what will help you serve them better. So as Policybazaar, when we work with our data and the insurance companies, we are trying to develop products for each of these segments. The reason that we are now the largest retail health insurance provider is the fact that we've been able to get products out specifically for these segments, because there's no value of a maternity cover to a senior citizen. So we're working just to make sure that each customer gets what he really needs, and not something which is a mass product in any way. So risk management is getting better and sharper. I think it's a very, very exciting field with the kind of data you have available online, which was previously not there. I think the best, the most interesting job would be that of an actuary now.
Okay, here's a question from Preetam Singh. I want to buy a health insurance policy for my parents. They come under the senior citizen category. Please tell me what things I should keep in mind before buying a health insurance plan for them.
Sure. So I think when it comes to parents, what you must check in your policy is not what is there, but rather what is not there. And the largest part to check is what is the co-payment terms. See, you can buy a normal policy also for your parents, but it costs a lot. So I can give you an example of my parents. When I bought them a policy, my dad was about 65 years old, and the product that was available to him, it cost me for my parents about 60,000 rupees. Now I could get a 30,000 rupee product also, but there would be a co-payment of 30 to 20%. So the part you want to check is what is your affordability range? And if the affordability range allows you to take a normal product, please buy that. Else, please check what is the co-payment. The product on our site which gives you 20% co-payment and a 30% co-payment, and the pricing differs. And whatever is comfortable for your pocket, you should do that. All the other features of the plan are broadly similar and nothing to really watch out for. Also check what is the pre-existing waiting period. So policies range from for any existing condition won't be covered for any between 2 to 4 years. My recommendation is to go for a 2-year waiting period and not a 4-year waiting period, because most of my parents will have some ailments or the other.
Okay, Manoj has this question: pay as you drive versus pay as you use motor insurance policy are only for cars or also for two-wheelers? And are they only for private cars or also for commercial?
As we discussed previously, pay as you go is very new to our country. We only have 2 to 4 products available, and they've mostly been under the sandbox that the regulator has now given us. Today, it's only for cars, not for two-wheelers or commercial cars. But I think as the next wave of these products come out, they'll be available for all.
Subodh has this question: what all is covered in car insurance? Is damage only to the exterior body covered? What about the engine, wiring, etc.?
See, depends. See, there is the motor insurance, a lot of companies. The simplest and the only mandatory part of the product is a third party premium, which does not cover any damage to your car. Then there is a comprehensive cover, which will cover your against certain accidents. There will be a depreciation amount because the value of the car keeps going down, and any damage to the body will be there. There will be depreciation on plastic parts, which is your glass or your handles, etc. But if you have a zero depth cover, an engine protector, an NC protector, you have all these covers, a key log replacement. You're able to identify all parts of a car and then be able to cover against it. Needless to say, the cost goes up as the covers go up.
What kind of motor insurance covers vehicle damage due to rain, flooding, or cloudbursts? Do all OD policies cover such events?
No. See, if you have a car and you live in an area which has very heavy rains and flooding, then my suggestion would be to please buy an engine protector. I have a lot of friends in Mumbai where they park their car, water fills up and goes into the engine. It is not covered in a normal policy. You must have an engine protector which covers you against, because the only part of flooding can damage is the engine, and that's covered in the engine protector, which is typically not very expensive.
Kingsley D'Souza, you've put up a question mark. I'm presuming you want to ask a question. Please go ahead. You're free to ask your question. Satvik, we just took your question. Do you have any counter question to that? Please feel free to write in the chat window. There's another question which is coming from Kalyan Jyoti Diori. His question is, I have a group family health insurance provided by my organization. However, I'm planning to buy a separate family floater plan for myself, for my wife, who's 35 years old, and for two daughters, 9 and 4. Please suggest which policy and insurer to opt for. I'm a teetotaler with no identified disease at present. Please suggest some policies which I can take as a family.
What was the name of the customer? Sorry.
Kalyan Jyoti Diori.
Okay. Kalyan, congratulations on a very, very good decision. You must buy a policy even if you have one from your organization. You said that you're 35, and I think your eldest daughter is 9, which is the data I needed to kind of get a quote. My recommendation to you is go big. Please buy the 1 crore cover. There are 3 companies which offer the 1 crore cover for a very, very efficient price. So anywhere between 1,750 rupees to 2,400 rupees offered by Aditya Birla, Max Bupa, and Religare in that order of price are available. When you buy a 1 crore cover, see, most of the public is buying a 5 lakh rupee plan, which I can tell you is not enough for anyone in any city. The 1 crore plan, however, offers the same thing to you, the same benefits and a much larger cover. And it's very, very cheap. I'm saying 1,700 rupees for your family is not an expensive amount, and you must buy it today. And it has all the covers available in every other plan. You will mostly find it only on Policy Bazaar. Agents and other companies rarely sell it. But I think you're the right age and the right family size to be buying that product.
And you're saying that if vis-a-vis buying a 5 lakh plan versus a 1 crore plan, from a pricing point, it works out much cheaper?
Actually, yes. If you go onto the site and, we took Kalyan's case here, you will find that a 5 lakh rupee cover is going to cost him 1,800 rupees. And there is an option of buying a 1 crore cover for 1,780 rupees. So, for let's say 200 rupees or 100 rupees a month difference, actually, this one's actually reversed. You're actually getting it cheaper. But in most cases, 5 lakh rupee cover will probably cost you about 1,600, and this cover will cost you about 1,700. For 100 rupees a month, you're getting a cover which is about 20x. So I think you can manage.
Yeah. Is buying insurance online better than buying offline, and how does the claim settlement work? This is a question from Bhagwan Das Sharma.
Buying online is far better than buying offline, and I know, of course, I will say it because I'm Policy Bazaar, but it's actually true. The reason being, the products available online are rarely sold offline. Offline, you'll probably need an agent who's selling for one company, because we compare across about 17 companies. There are very, very superior products available online. In a lot of cases, there are online discounts filed in the product which are available, which is not offered on the offline side. The claims are exactly the same. Today, we do have a lot of assistance on our claims, a lot of green channels with insurance companies where they help us process claims for our customers. The claims process is far quicker in terms of digital. Eventually, the claim is going to happen in health insurance in a hospital. There is neither an insurance company, an insurance agent, or policies are present inside the premises of a hospital. But there is a TPA desk. In a lot of cases, there are insurer desks where you can go. If you just quote the policy number, everything else is taken care of on its own. Most hospitals have a great mechanism by which they process the claims. There was an age-old problem which used to take about 10 hours for a claim to get processed, but now it's happening in a couple of hours. The processes are getting very, very efficient, and our complaint rates are the lowest they've ever been. So online, it's definitely better buy and a better claim experience.
Hmm. And is it fairly simple? Because, not everybody is that tech savvy, though that's changing, especially with the younger generation. They are extremely tech savvy. But how simple is the whole online process, Tarun?
So, Vivek, I will admit that as a company, the largest expense that we probably carry is a user experience team, which has worked painstakingly for the last so many years to improve the customer experience. I remember back in 2010, it used to take about 7 to 10 minutes to buy an online policy. Today, it takes roughly about 3.5 minutes to buy an online policy. Questions are fairly simple. There's nothing that you will have to get up and check somewhere. Go and check some details or health details, nothing of the sort. A very simple question. It is far easier to fill online, and the declaration rates online are much better. So you will get, there is no problem in the claims either because your form is being filled by you. All the details will be exact. So, and that's what we always say. If you fill the form honestly, there will be no problem with the claim. And because the customer himself is filling it, there will never be a problem. If you fill up your form yourself, you've got the details right, the claim process is also simpler, easier, and 100% of the claims will get paid.
Hmm. If any of you has any question for Tarun, please feel free to write it on the chat window. I can see RN putting up a question mark. Kingsley D'Souza, we're still waiting for your question. Satvik, do you have a question? We've taken one of yours already. Here's a question from Rajesh Pandey. Post COVID-19, what do you think will be the state of the general insurance industry in India?
Sorry, I kind of missed that. What?
Rajesh Pandey has this question. Post COVID-19, what do you think will be the state of general insurance industry in India?
See, it's actually going to be far better. I think the awareness is something that the general insurance industry needed. Like I said, last year the rough total was about 180,000 crores. I think this year we would not be up by much. We'd probably reach about 200,000 crores. But because of the awareness and the economy coming back slowly and steadily, we think that this will now grow much, much larger. I think the penetration levels will be very, very high in the succeeding years. I think the most interesting space out there is right now general insurance industry in India. So I think I only feel that it's going to go very, very high from here.
Kapil Srivastav has this question. Since more than 10 years, the regulator is trying to increase the general insurance penetration, but not being successful as still the penetration is less than 1%. So what do you think is the reason behind this and how is Policybazaar trying to contribute in industry growth?
See, Policybazaar's aim, like I said, is to try and create products which are very, very specific to a customer's needs. That's how we want to increase the penetration. See, if you get the right product out there for the right customer, there is no way he or she is not going to buy. Uh, I think over time, the insurance industry is also getting sharper with data coming in, with analytics coming in, with better tools for those data coming in. I think actually we are able to get a solution for customers. So Policybazaar's role is actually to champion the customer side, try and understand what the customer is saying, and actually listen to what he is not saying, and try and devise out better and better products so that more and more fence sitters come in and buy. I think there's going to be a paradigm shift in the way customers buy and what they buy over the next 3 to 5 years. And I think the insurance industry has to keep at pace with what the expectations of the customer are. Like we can't tell a customer to get a policy tomorrow. When he's buying online, he believes that the moment I complete my payment, there's going to be a policy or a PDF or a policy coming to my mail account. You can't tell him that it's going to, so certain parts are covered or not covered. A customer believes that everything should be covered. So I think we're evolving. I think that Policy Bazaar is kind of pioneering a lot of efforts in terms of better innovation of products and better service to the customers, to work with the regulator and the insurance companies to make claims also far more simple. So I think there's a lot of scope in the industry, but I think on the whole, we're doing quite well.
Nandini has this question. I recently bought a flat in a multi-story building, and since I've invested my hard-earned money in it, I also want to buy an insurance policy for the same. Please suggest what policy should I go for and what all should I consider before buying a policy?
Nandini, there are two parts to a home insurance. You can get two types of policies. There's a structure only policy, and there's a structure plus contents. There's also I'm saying it's actually the three policies. There's also content only insurance. But my recommendation is to go for both your structure and your contents. In a nutshell, structure will cover the broad plinth and the structure of the house. Your contents will cover what you keep inside it. Since you said that you use a hard-earned money, it's very important to get the structure cover. Typically, a structure cover will cost you anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000 rupees. So it's not very expensive. And the contents will be depending on what you have inside. And you can insure everything. The covers are very, very wide. It depends on how much you want. So there's also a breakdown cover for air conditioners, etc. So my recommendation would be, please do go online in Policy Bazaar. You'll be able to see about 7 to 10 plans there, which have very, very different coverages. And depending on where your affordability range lies, please go and buy the best cover possible in terms of covering more and more appliances and the entire structure. So that would be my recommendation.
Question coming in from Raju G. His question is it recommended to take 1 crore single policy or two policies of 50 lakh with different companies, for example, Max Insurance and ICICI?
My recommendation is, the 1 crore policy is a floating cover. It is definitely better to only go for a floating cover of 1 crore. The reason I say that is that if something happens, today 1 crore is a very, very large sum. If something, God forbid, happens that actually goes to 30, 40 lakhs, then it probably won't stop at 30, 40 lakhs. It will probably use up the entire 70 or 80 lakh rupees. And you would want them to available to both of you. If you're a family, or if you're a four of you, then the whole family will have that access to the 1 crore cover, because chances that two people will be able to get to 50 lakhs is very rare. That's your recommendation. Do not split policies between two insurers. There is no advantage there. In fact, like I said before, there are 3 plans on Policy Bazaar which efficiently price the 1 crore cover. You will see those in Aditya Birla in health insurance. You will see that in Max Bupa Health Insurance, and you will see that in Care Health Insurance. These 3 companies have launched a very, very efficient 1 crore plan, which you must explore.
Kiran has this question. I just turned 31 on the 8th of this month. Wish you a very happy belated birthday, Kiran. By what amount my EMI for 1 crore term insurance would have increased? Did I miss an opportunity?
Well, I'm not the expert at term, but I can tell you that yes, you have missed an opportunity. If you bought before your birthday, it would be anywhere between 7 to 10% cheaper. But my recommendation is buy now. Don't wait for the next birthday. Because because you see what happens in level term is the premium that you lock in today, what you buy today, remains the same for the next 50 to 55, or up to 75, or up to 85, whatever plan you buy. It's going to be the same premium. And now, if you buy this year, it might be, if it's 10 rupees, it might be 100 rupees, it might be 107 rupees next year, and then you have to pay those 7 rupees additional for the rest of your life, or for the rest of the time that you have the policy for. So please buy now, and so you save on money for the rest of the lifetime of the policy.
Okay. Let's take our final question. If any of you still has a question, please feel free to chat in. We are kind of running out of time now. Saurav Bhattacharya, did you have a question? You've just put a question mark there. Rahul Gupta has this question. I have a 5-year-old Maruti Suzuki Swift, and amidst the pandemic, I'm hardly driving the car. Considering the current weather conditions, I want to know what kind of motor insurance plans cover vehicle damage due to rain, flooding, or cloudburst. do all own damage policies cover such events? You did take a similar question earlier, but if you can repeat for Rahul for his benefit.
So Rahul, if you're not driving your car too much, you may want to explore the pay-as-you-go car insurance available right now from Edelweiss General Insurance on Policy Bazaar. It's a fairly simple one where you can switch on or switch off your insurance on a very, very easy to use app. I can say that because I have the same policy for a car of mine. But however, if you want to cover against flooding, etc., depending on which city you stay in, you must buy. Your car is 5 years old, so it will be tough. But you must try and get an engine protector which covers against any water that enters your engine. I hope that answers.
Okay, it's time actually for us to wind up. We've taken all the questions as well. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us and for your questions. We'll be, of course, back next week again with another edition of a webinar around insurance. Thank you very much, Tarun, for taking time out and like always answering all the questions in a very, very clear and easy manner for people to understand. Thank you and wish you all the best. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thanks, everyone.